When I went inside the world's largest sneaker market in Guangzhou, China, I thought I was just going to see knockoffs and reps. But what I didn't expect was to realize how broken the entire sneaker system actually is. And not just broken because of prices or hype, but because of what I found out was happening to these shoes after they left the market. So today, I want to talk about what I took away from that experience and all the little things that I didn't really get to explain in the first video. And of course, if you haven't seen that first video, highly recommend, not just because it's a banger, but also you'll get a lot more context for everything that I'm going to go through today. But yes, this place was genuinely insane. I mean, I've been to fake stores before, even places that have like multiple different stores selling reps, but nothing like this. And what I actually realized there explains why so many people are getting scammed now, even when they think they're doing everything right. Now, the way that China works, generally speaking, is that different regions specialize in producing different things. Shenzhen is known for tech, so companies like DJI and BYD are headquartered there. And naturally, the best tech manufacturers are also in that region. Now, Guangzhou is specifically known for sneakers and fashion. So the place I went to is basically the epicenter for this kind of stuff. Now, the fake market itself is like 8 to 10 different stories just packed with different shops all selling replica products. I mean, we're not even just talking sneakers and clothing, but like kitchen appliances, toys, and Lego sets. Pretty much anything you can think of is there being replicated. Now, one thing that I really wanted to kind of discover as I went here was to get a good understanding at what type of sneakers and clothing specifically are being replicated, because that really indicates what's most popular right now. And for the most part, there was a lot of kind of what I expected or what I anticipated. So a ton of Balenciaga. That was easily the most popular brand being faked there. Almost every store that you went into had some kind of Balenciaga product, whether it was clothing or some of the shoes that they make. There was even a lot of stores just entirely dedicated to just Balenciaga product. So I guess the biggest insight from that is just if you are buying Balenciaga secondhand or from a different place, just be very careful. And yes, Travis Scott Jordans are easily the most popular sneaker model being replicated there. I mean, so popular, in fact, it wasn't even just the pairs that had already been released. They were making up entirely new concepts of the Travis Scott Jordan 1. Collaborations like Gucci, Travis's, Supreme, Louis Vuitton, Stone Island was one of them. So yeah, they had a lot of that, and even some colorways that are supposed to be releasing later on this year, so unreleased pairs. It's just, yeah, those things are everywhere. But one thing I definitely did not expect to see was the overwhelming amount of New Balance, Asics, and Hoka products and on running shoes. Basically just general release sneakers. You know, these are shoes that you can pretty much walk into any store in the world, any retailer, and pick one of these up. Like, they're not super hyped up or super limited for the most part. And that was the exact first moment I realized there is a much bigger problem here. Typically, when you hear from someone who buys replica products, the answers are pretty straightforward. It's because the real pair is just way too hard to get or just way too expensive. You know, $2,000 for a pair of Balenciagas or $1,500 for a pair of Travis Scotts that you can never get your hands on for retail. But these Asics, Hokas, and New Balances, these aren't rare. These are just readily available shoes. So seeing those being replicated here and so popular that so many different stores had them was definitely scary. Because now this means that it's not just hype shoes anymore or expensive shoes. It means anything popular can be faked. Even water bottles. This was a crazy thing. I was walking around, and this is a water bottle, Owala, that I bought when I was in Walmart in the US, and I started seeing a ton of these water bottles in different stores. I didn't even know that these were popular. But basically, if something becomes popular, it ends up here. Now, another thing that maybe didn't fully come across in the first video was just how chaotic this place was. Now, I was really fortunate to be able to go with my friend Colin, who's actually a local. Like, he lives in Guangzhou, China. He knows the language. So we definitely helped out with a lot of different translations or just navigating the place in general. The second you walk into this area, which is a bunch of different buildings, immediately you're being approached by people just coming up to you and just saying copy, copy, copy. They're trying to pull you in and get you to go and visit their stores. You've obviously got scooters flying past in every different direction, and it can just be a little bit overwhelming. And one thing Colin actually pointed out while we were down there was that the lower floors of this huge fake market building was called the tourist trap. So this level, this bottom level where everybody's trying to pull you into their stores, this is the place with the worst quality products for the highest prices. And this is where all of these sellers use use this overwhelming chaos to their advantage, because a lot of these tourists that come and visit there, they get overwhelmed, they go into some of these stores and they just start buying like the first stuff that they see. But one of the most interesting things, and something I couldn't really get into in the first video, was the other tourists. You see, as we started going higher and higher up into this building, I started noticing more and more people who clearly weren't from China. Now, at first, I obviously just assumed these were people just interested in, buying a few things, buying a few fake shoes. But turns out a lot of these people are actually placing bulk orders, either to physically take stuff back with them or get it shipped to their own countries to sell. So these were very clearly buyers. And while I'd love to believe that all of these people are going to sell these products when they get back home and tell everybody these are reps that I got from China, realistically, a lot of these products are probably being resold as genuine. Most of the shoes in this market ranged from $30 to $50. I mean, the most expensive thing that I found there was the Kanye red wing boots. I mean, Colin, who actually makes videos on these markets regularly, he said that these boots were the most expensive item that he has ever seen there.
100. So what is that, like 100 and...
That's a lot for a boot.
Yeah, I wonder what the real ones cost.
The most expensive item I've ever seen here at the market.
Really?
Other than like the watches, yeah, I've never had anyone say that expensive.
That's crazy.
So that should just give you a kind of perspective at what kind of prices you're going to be paying for clothing and shoes. But ultimately, what surprised me the most was actually when I left the market. When I posted this video, the comments were not really what I expected. It was actually full of people asking where this place was and how can they buy this stuff, and expressing how they actually prefer replica sneakers over the genuine product. Now, to be clear, I'm not here to take a moral stance on fakes at all, but after seeing all of this, I really did want to learn more about why fake shoes are exploding in popularity right now, and why so many people are choosing fakes instead of buying the real product. Now, the reasons people usually give that you see online, anybody who's buying, fake shoes or something like that, are actually pretty consistent. Retail prices for shoes just feel out of reach right now. Resale culture has killed the fun. Brands are limiting supply and artificial scarcity, making these things just impossible to buy for retail. People just generally feel gatekept. And obviously the quality of these fakes have gotten way better than they used to be. And honestly, I can't really argue with any of those reasons. There's a lot of validity to all of that. And if someone wants to buy a fake pair of Travis Scotts instead of paying $1,500 to a reseller, I am certainly not here to tell them that they're wrong. But what a lot of people don't see is the other side of this industry. And that is where the real damage starts.
These are all the sellers for shoes you need to know about in the Chinese market.
I just got a ton of items from China. Let's review them. Puffers.
If you want to dress well without spending a lot of money, I got you. Because I've been buying from China for the past year and the prices are dirt cheap.
Because those foreigners that were in the replica market, that isn't even really the tip of the iceberg. Now, there is an entire creator economy built around replicas. People online are getting paid to tell you where to buy these products, how to get these products shipped to them, and every little detail to convince you of why these are basically the same as the real thing. And once you normalize that idea, it becomes incredibly easy for someone else to sell those products as authentic. Now, there's different levels of this whole online creator economy for replicas. I mean, there's the content creators that usually just have like commission deals with places and websites like Taobao and all of these different middlemen, these shipping people. And that's usually just them promoting it, and then they get commission from the people who use these websites and buy through them. But underneath those surface level content creators who are just earning commission, there's other creators who are literally teaching people how to start reselling businesses just using replica products.
Someone boxed this package with me that's going to make me $300 in profit tomorrow. So I get these colognes for only $20 to $30 from my private vendor that's in China. It even ships them with a valid receipt, so reselling it is super easy.
These are the top 3 products to resell as a beginner in 2026. Number 1 is definitely going to have to be colognes, because they're super easy to sell as a beginner and they have good profit margins. I personally get these colognes from my supplier for only $20 to $25 with receipts, and I sell them for over $200.
Very similar business model to the typical sneakerhead reseller that we all know about, except these ones are buying fake products to sell them as genuine, and they're making content about it. And these content creators are not just reselling themselves and having this business, but they're teaching other people how to start businesses of their own and what manufacturers or vendors they have in order for people to get connected with them and just start another fake reselling business on top of that. Now, I probably don't need to tell you this, but buying a pair of shoes and then them turning out to be fakes is one of the worst feelings ever. I've been caught before, quite recently. I'm sure some of you guys have as well. And yes, nowadays we do have legit checking apps and resale platforms that have all of these different authentication methods and experts working there, but honestly, I have no idea how they even stand a chance. Nike sued StockX for selling replicas. We constantly see complaints and Reddit posts from customers who have bought pairs from different platforms and them turning out to be completely fake. So a lot of these systems that have been put in place to find out whether shoes are real or fake, they're really hard to trust. And the thing is I feel like there's two different sides to the whole replica industry, because all of the pain points that the average person who just wants to buy a pair of fake shoes to wear them, those are targeted and used by people who are reselling fakes as genuine, literally to use all of those pain points as marketing. A lot of the time, if you're scrolling through social media and you come across a video of someone saying why their reps are better than the real ones, 9 times out of 10, they're selling a product or earning commission off of it. And honestly, the more I see this both online and in person, the more it looks similar to what happened with that YouTuber who got sued by Nike. Once fakes start moving at scale and being sold as real, things can get messy pretty quickly. But at the same time, after seeing how big all of this has gotten and how popular fakes have become, I genuinely have no idea how brands are supposed to fight it. This doesn't feel like something you can just shut down. It feels like a never-ending battle where quite clearly, at least as of right now, from what I can see, brands are losing. And again, just to be clear, I'm not making an argument for fakes or against fakes. The person buying a pair of fake shoes is not really the problem. In my opinion, of course, they can do whatever they want. What I'm actually interested in is the other side of this, because that's the part that affects a lot of us. The industry that's grown around the whole replica community, the one that's getting bigger and bigger day by day, and actively using people's frustration with prices, resale, and scarcity, all just to sell fake products. Because again, a lot of these reasons why people want to buy a pair of fake shoes, they're valid. Things are expensive. Brands do limit supply and artificial scarcity is involved. Quality of some products do feel like they're going down. All of that is real. But at this point, if you're trying to buy real sneakers, I mean, especially on the secondhand market, it's just more risky now than it's ever been. Trusted platforms, legit checks, and all of these different apps and stuff like that, none of it is really bulletproof. And ultimately, I wish that there was a way that brands could implement something so that you know if you're buying this product, like, it is definitely genuine. If they could implement like some kind of authentication on their end, but I just don't know how it would be possible. But yeah, either way, just be careful out there. And of course, I would love to hear your guys' opinion on this topic down in the comment section. I'll have a read through and listen to what you guys gotta say. And like always, I'm gonna leave another video in the top left hand corner. Click on it to check it out.